The Middle Ages were not just an age of castles and kings, they were an age haunted by death. Life was fragile, wars were endless, and plagues could wipe out entire villages in weeks. For people who lived under the shadow of mortality, the question was never if death would come, but when. And when it did, the way a body was laid to rest spoke volumes about faith, fear, and status in a deeply religious world. For the peasants who worked the fields and lived simple lives, burial was a modest affair. Most were buried in humble churchyards wrapped in a simple shroud, with no coffin, because wood was costly. Their graves were shallow, often marked only by a wooden cross that would rot away within years. To the medieval poor, eternity was not promised by wealth or monuments, but by the prayers of the living. The family hoped the soul would find peace in purgatory, because even in death, nothing was certain. The rich and powerful faced death differently. Nobles and knights demanded tombs carved in stone, their names etched into history. Their bodies were laid inside ornate coffins, sometimes lead-lined, and placed in family crypts beneath grand churches. Effigies, lifelike statues, were placed atop the tombs, showing the dead in eternal prayer. These monuments were not just about honoring the dead. They were statements of power, wealth, and a desperate hope that heaven took notice. Burial was not just about the body, it was about where it rested. The closer to the altar, the holier the ground. The rich paid enormous sums to be buried inside the church walls, believing proximity to the sacred would shorten their time in purgatory. Some were even buried beneath the floor where worshippers walked, so every step was a prayer for their soul. The poor, of course, had no such privilege. Their graves lay outside, exposed to the elements, because even in death, social order endured. When the Black Death swept across Europe in the 14th century, burial customs collapsed under the weight of horror. Death came too fast, too often. Graveyards overflowed, and the living dug vast plague pits, mass graves where dozens, even hundreds of bodies were thrown together without ceremony. Priests rushed through prayers if they came at all. In those dreadful days, the dream of a holy burial was shattered by the grim reality of survival. But medieval people feared more than purgatory. They feared the dead themselves. Tales of corpses rising from their graves were widespread. To prevent this, some bodies were buried face down, some were staked through the heart, and others were weighed down with stones. These were not mere superstitions. They were desperate measures in a world where death felt dangerously close to life.